Yo guys, it's Slyroh. You already know that today I'm bringing you guys my battle for round 2 of the TBU playoffs against Pokemon Trip HD and the Dallas Staravias. And yes, this is Deja Vu because last week we played Potato Gym and this week we are playing Trip. We did the same thing week 7 and week 8 of the regular season, so we're just repeating the end of the season over and over again for all eternity until this game, because whoever wins goes to the finals. The TBU finals, and Trip won the league last year. He does not need to win it 2 times in a row, so we're going to do everything in our power to beat him today. So the team analysis should have went up yesterday, unless there's more technical difficulties, but hopefully it went up yesterday, so you can see in all full detail what I brought and why. And yeah, full thoughts against Trip and all that good stuff. But to give a quick recap, you can see on your screen the mons that I brought and the mons that he brought. I brought a Choice Banded, Flagon, a max HP, max special attack, Tailglow Manaphy, a specially defensive Mega Venusaur with a physically defensive Porygon 2, a physically defensive Arcanine with Roar, and Flare Blitz as the only attack, and a Citrus Berry unburdened Slurpuff, but with like no speed. It's like max HP, max attack with like the remaining in speed, because that's all I need to be able to outspeed everything after a unburdened speed boost. So that is the team that I'm bringing, and you can see the team that Trip brought is a little bit different than last time. In fact, the only things that are the same are the Vaporeon, the Mega Lopunny, and the Mew. Kyurem showed up for the first time. Electros wasn't even an option last time, so that's showing up now. And the Avalugg is here. So this kind of threw off a lot of stuff. There's no Tangrowth, there's no Umbreon, so I'm just like, wow, this is the team. So, anything I missed, any questions, feel free to ask me. Trip's links are in the description below, but I'm going to get this battle on the way because this was a long battle. So, let's go ahead and get on with it. So, Trip is issuing a challenge, and I start out with the Flagon because I figure that a U-turn is a good thing to lead off with, especially if he leads off with the Mew, and he does lead off with the Mew. And U-turn used U-turn because that is the most fitting way to do it, and I do a lot of damage because it's a crit, which I did not even realize that it was a crit. So at this point, I'm thinking this is some sort of offensive Mew, and because I think it's some sort of offensive Mew, I go into Arcanine, and I get the Intimidate drop. And he just soft-boils, and I'm like, whoa, that's a weird offensive Mew. So yeah, that's the thing. And he has leftovers, so I was like, wait a minute, this is a really weird offensive Mew. It's because it's not. He goes for Taunt, which doesn't matter because I went for Flare Blitz to get a lot of damage, but I'm seeing that this is, I mean, it does damage, but not as much as I would want it to. This is probably some sort of defensive Mew. I think after a few turns I start to realize, like, hey, maybe you got a crit first turn, and this is not what you thought it was. But, so now I know it has Taunt also, so that is a good thing to know. That will come into play later. He goes into the Kyurem. I don't want to talk about this Kyurem, like, in the slightest. So, we Flare Blitz it, do lots of damage, super cool, right? Well, I don't entirely know what kind of Kyurem this is. I know it's not Specs because it recovers with leftovers, but that's about all I got. And I mean, you know, not Life Orb, whatever, not Scarf, though Scarf would make not any sense. So I switch out into, you know, something that can take a hit, and that's Porygon 2. I'm gonna go ahead and trace its pressure, put some pressure on it, I guess, and it's gonna set up a sub. No, it's not. I spoiled stuff, but it roosts. I believe this turn it sets up a sub. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's pretend that I didn't know that. Whoa, it sets up a substitute. Whoa, I didn't see that coming. And I just go for the Thunder Wave, but he sets up a sub, so he doesn't get T-Waved. And I'm like, oh snap. If he is offensive completely, then a Tri-Attack can break his sub, so that's cool. But he Toxics me, which is not cool, and that's going to be there to stay. I'd go ahead for the Tri-Attack, and it does break his sub, I believe. Yeah, so I'm like, cool, this is probably like a max special attack, modest, Kyurem, but I've seen Sub, Roost, and Toxic, so he can only have one attack on this Kyurem, and I need to figure out what that one attack is. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out, expecting him to set up a Sub, and expecting him to hopefully not do too much damage. So he's going to go ahead and Sub, and I believe that I might not set up a Toglo, actually. He's going to go ahead and Toxic me, which sucks. I kind of get what he's doing now. He's, you know, he's Toxicing all my Mons, which really, really sucks. I do go for the Tail Glow, and I can 2-hit KO him now with Signal Beam. I think that's the one that's not resisted by him. Because Scald and Ice Beam, no, Scald and Energy Ball are both resisted by the Kyurem. So I think Signal Beam is a 2-hit KO at this point. He reveals his final move, and it's Psychic, and that does damage. And that does damage to basically everything on my team. With a mixture of Toxic and Psychic, he can really take on my team. I go for the Scald because after Tail Glow I can break it, and I would like to try and get some burns and stuff. So yeah, I go ahead and recover with the leftovers and take some Toxic damage. I think I should have... Do I switch out this turn? I feel like I switch out this turn. No, he goes ahead and subs, and I go ahead for a Signal Beam, just a guaranteed like break sub, do a lot more damage. Had a chance to take him out, I think, from that range of health, something like that. And I kind of can see that he can just sub Roost forever and ever until I die to Toxic. So this has been a failed little experiment here. So I've been trying to deal with this Kyurem, and I'm 0 for 2 right now. So let's go ahead and try with a third thing. And we are going to go into the Mega Venusaur, because my Mega Venusaur is specially defensive. He's not going to go for a Psychic here. He's either going to set up a Sub or go for the Roost. So once I get my Mega up, his Psychic will do in the low 40s% is the max roll. So I know I can live it and all that good stuff. So I'm going to break his Sub, I believe, with the Sludge Bomb. I do believe. Let's go ahead and see this damage. He sees that he does that much damage to me. That's not a 2-hit KO by any stretch of the imagination. If I was physically defensive like I usually am, then that would be a 2-hit KO, but I'm not. So, yeah, we go ahead and break his Sub, and I found my answer to Kyurem because he can't Toxic me, and he can't take me out the Psychic. However, Sludge Bomb, I can't take him out this turn either. So I go for the Synthesis because I'm just like, I can't have you, like, killing the Mega Venusaur, because that would suck. Because he doesn't really have a lot on his team to take out the Mega Venusaur, to be honest. But I'm going to go ahead and switch back out, expecting a Sub, I think. Or no, expecting a Psychic. And he does go for the Psychic. And, yeah, I can take him out because Flygon has Choice Banded and Max Speed Jolly, so I can outspeed any sort of Kyurem because this thing isn't Scarfed, obviously. And I want to say I go for the U-turn. Nope, I go for the Dragon Claw. Because just in case he stayed in, I wanted to take him out, and if he switched it out, I can still do a little bit of damage. U-turn would have been cool, but at the same time, whatever. He goes into the Avalugg, and I'm just like, I don't want to deal with Avalugg, because it's not as terrible as you think. But I just go into Porygon 2, because I can, and now I have Sturdy, which doesn't come into play, because I'm not max health. And he double switches into the Mew. And that's kind of annoying, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, I'm expecting him to taunt me because Porygon 2 usually does shenanigans involving not attacking. But he actually switches out as I go for the Tri-Attack, I believe. Yep, and he goes into Audra, revealing his Electros and revealing that it is Assault Vest, because that does nothing. And Porygon 2 is no scrub. Tri-Attack still does damage when, you know, things aren't Assault Vest. But I go ahead into the Mega Venusaur. I kind of was expecting a Volt Switch, but, I mean, what else was I going to do? So, yeah, I take the Volt Switch, take like 20 damage, and he's just going to go back out into the Kirim, and I'm just like, I've seen this before, and yeah, so he either has to set up a sub and scare me out, which he doesn't do, or he has to attack me with a Psychic, which my Synthesis heals up more than his Psychic deals, and that is super cool. So, we are at good health now, pretty good health anyway, and I forget this turn. There's a lot of turns to this match, I'm not gonna lie, and kind of forget what order things happen in. But he does go for the Psychic, as I go for the Sludge Bomb. Because I thought I had a pretty decent chance to live more than one Psychic. I thought about going for Leech Seed, but in case he subbed, I didn't want it to be a wasted turn. So now I'm going to switch out, because I don't think I can live a Psychic. And I go into the Porygon 2. I've seen Tri-Attack break his sub before, so that should be good. We'll just Tri-Attack him until we get hacks, or whatever. So he goes for the Psychic, and does, like, not much damage at all, because I'm a Porygon 2, and he is going to, sub up this turn, actually, and, go ahead. Alright, yep. He subs up, I go for the Tri-Attack, and I'm like, cool, I'll take out a sub, easy. I don't take out a sub, and I'm like, oh. So yeah, I don't take out a sub. I mean, it's a roll, and I don't really know what the roll is, because I don't know how much HP investment he has. But it is a roll, apparently. If I was analytic, it wouldn't be a roll, but nah, I thought I'd be cool and bring Trace this week, but looks like I might have made a mistake. Oh well. So, this is happening, and now his Kieran's back up to full health, and you can see why this is a long game. Because I brought a lot of defense, he brought a lot of defense and bulk, and yeah, we just didn't really have enough for each other. So I will go ahead and break his sub, so that way I can at least predict him to go for a sub and work around it. And I kind of hit the last resort switch here, and by that I mean that I wait for all the animations to play out, and then I switch into Arcanine, predicting him to set up a substitute. I know he's going to Toxic me, and I'm going to walk away from this encounter with a Toxic Arcanine, but at this point I just need this thing out of my face because I'm not dealing with it very well. Like, it's 1v1ing basically my whole team, which I was not ready for. So, he is going to Toxic me, as predicted, and I am going to be able to roar this out, which is super cool. And let's go ahead and watch that happen. Oh, so much Toxic. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and roar him out. Super fun. Now he sees that I have it, and now he's in Mew. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Because I don't have a lot for Mew either. To be fair, I don't have a lot on my team in general to take out Mew. So this thing was going to be annoying regardless of what I did. But, I mean, Kirim, I have stuff to take out Kirim. I just, it's annoying. Very, very annoying. So, yeah, he's going to go for ahead for the taunt. Possibly expecting, I don't know, Will-O-Wisp or something. But I'm just going to Flare Blitz him to get damage off. Maybe get the cheeky Flare Blitz burn. But, nope. That's not going to happen this week. I think we ran out of our Flare Blitz burn luck last week. So yeah. Oh man. There's so many move animations. So, that's enough. Come back. I switch in to the Flygon, expecting him to heal up, which he does. And I need to go for broke. Let's just do damage. Choice, Bandit, Outrage, go! Go! Do slightly over half. Cool! He goes for the Will-O-Wisp and misses. Ooh, this is huge. Because that means that he can't stand, because if he does stand, then he dies. And he doesn't want a dead Mew, so he switches out into the thing that can take an Outrage, which is Avalugg, and I'm just like, please only be a 2-turn Outrage, because otherwise this is a dead Flygon. And I don't want a dead Flygon yet, that's just not how it is. So I do get the 2-turn Outrage, very nice for me. This Avalugg is now at half health, and as I'm kind of looking at it, I can sweep through his team with Slurpuff if I can get a belly drum up. So I'm starting to be like, alright, how can we facilitate a Slurpuff sweep? And the easiest way for me to do that, well, it is actually tough, because I think the best way to do that is to have Avalugg or Kyurem kill one of my Mons and then get a clean switch into Slurpuff. But then I have to worry about Kyurem setting up a sub. No, I wouldn't actually. No, I wouldn't. So if I could get a Kyurem that is not behind a sub to kill something, I could go into Slurpuff and I can clean up the match. And that is basically the plan now. But he Mega Evolves into the Mega Lopunny as I switched into the Arcanine to get the Intimidate so other things can take it on better. Most notably the something else, I don't remember. But he switches out into the Kyurem. Seen this before. I go and I Toxic. Woo! I Toxic the Kyurem. It can't live forever. That was wonderful. However, if this Kyurem dies, I don't really have a great way to set up a belly drum with Slurpuff. So I'm like, oh, decisions. Possibly could have just Flare Blitzed this until I die or something, but that would have been something. But he switches out and into the Mew, and I go for the switch out, and I go into the Porygon 2 because Porygon 2 is kind of a damage sponge at this point. I mean, it was kind of brought for things that really didn't show up. I mean, I don't know why it was brought, but it is what it is. And Porygon 2 is the damage sponge. We're going to go ahead for the Tri-Attack in case he taunts us. He's going to go ahead and switch out to Electros just like last time and take a little bit more Tri-Attack. Still waiting for some Tri-Attack hacks. Do not think I've gotten any the entire season. And I always bring Tri-Attack, so I don't know what's going on. I go ahead for the Recover because he can't do a whole lot to me because it's an Electros, and I thought he was just going to Volt Switch, which he does. I didn't need any other Mons getting unnecessary damage and giving Trip even more momentum than he needs, so he gets a crit Volt Switch, which is silly but doesn't really matter that much. And he then goes back out into the Mega Lopunny, which I don't have a ton of switches into, so... but I do switch out, and I switch back into the Arcanine to get the Intimidate off. At this point, I think I sack Arcanine. Yeah, I sack Arcanine because I don't really have a lot to take this thing out. But I did want the Intimidate, and then this basically brings me to the only way that I could figure out how to kill this Mega Lopunny, and I kind of throw the game away here. That is probably a little early to be telling you guys this, but I can OHKO him with a Play Rough. If I set up a Belly Drum, he could easily have Quick Attack, and then take me out as soon as I set up a Belly Drum. Like, I could set up a Belly Drum, and he would hit the return. I'd live and everything. But actually it was a roll for me to be able to get this Citrus Berry off, and I wasn't willing to take that. And I just wanted to kill him, whatever. Get off a Drain Punch. If I can get some health back, maybe I have a chance to still set up a Belly Drum. Which maybe I should have done this turn, honestly. I could have set up a Belly Drum this turn, and I would have been in a way better spot. Especially with the Mega Lopunny dead. Wow, I could have just set up a Belly Drum right there, and I think I would have won the game. Dang. But I kind of threw all my chances away of going for a Belly Drum. This thing has Taunt and Will-O-Wisp, so I can't set up a Belly Drum on it. But I try anyway, in case he goes for Soft Boiled, because this is my last-ditch effort to try and win. And he just kills me, so that was the best play that he had. You know, in case he missed a Will-O-Wisp. And, I mean, if I attacked him as he went for Taunt, you know, you never know what could happen. So he just kills me, and I go back into Flygon. The only thing that can kill this thing And I'm like, well, maybe he won't want to take another Outrage, and go for the U-turn. Outrage might have killed him. I don't know, but it didn't, and I'm just, at this point, I'm just so frustrated because I'm not predicting correctly. I threw my chance away at setting up the belly drum with Slurpuff, which would have swept through his team at this point, and I mean, barring a play rough miss, which could have happened, but if that didn't happen, Slurpuff definitely won me the game if I was able to set up belly drum. And yeah, so let's go ahead and keep going to through the rest of the match. Switches out to Mew and goes into the Electros. Go for a Tri-Attack again, because why not? And slowly wearing himself down. He hasn't done anything in Super Volt Switch, which I think is pretty funny. I go for the Recover, just to be a damage sponge for longer. I'm still kind of just hoping that Trip messes up somewhere, or I can get some crit or hacks. I mean, this is a playoff game. I need to do literally everything in my power to try and pull this game back or something, and it's just not looking good for me right now. So yeah, there's a Kyurem again, and I can't roar him out with the Arcanine. I believe Mega Venusaur is still on low health, or at least too low of health to live Psychics and stuff like that. And he sets up a sub, and I stay in, just trying to hopefully break his sub with a Tri-Attack. I might just be staying in to rack up toxic damage too, because this is a toxic Kyurem behind the sub, which means that it won't live forever. I'm also kind of just not seeing a way I can win at this point, so it's like being a little bit reckless with my Mons, so I think I do just kind of let this Porygon 2 in till it dies, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to go ahead and Roost, and just to be able to leave this encounter with a decent amount of health on his side. So yeah, so he's going to basically be able to 1v1 my Porygon 2 to death, as far as I remember, and he's going to have a decent amount of health by the time that happens. I do live on 1, which is pretty funny, and I gotta hope that this Tri-Attack can take out the sub. I must have gotten a max roll or something for the first sub, because no other Tri-Attacks took out the substitute, which is super annoying. That means I have to take extra hits from Kyurem, which is not what I wanted to do, because I am going to die to the toxic damage, and all that good stuff. So now I believe I go into Flygon, and I kind of like, if this wasn't behind a sub, I could go for the free Outrage or Dragon Claw, but I gotta go for the U-turn to just, you know, kill or break down the sub, and that means that I have to go into something else to take another hit from Kyurem, and the winner this time is Manaphy, which has kind of lost a lot of its use because it's not going to be setting up Toglo anytime soon, and it can't really do a lot of damage to the team that he brought without one, so that's a thing. So after all this leftovers, animations, stuff like that, we are going to see he's still alive, but Toxic is going to be bringing him down to death very, very soon. He's going to go ahead and just take me out and let his Kyurem go down to Toxic, so the Kyurem is finally down, so that's at least a minor victory in my book. I'm good with that, and yeah, so I don't need to worry about that Kyurem, thankfully. So there's that. Finally dies. I'm super happy about that. You guys had no idea. But he's going to go into the Mew, and I am going into the Flygon, and I believe I U-turn? Or do? I forget, actually. Nope, I just go for the Outrage. So, I go for the Outrage, and I kill the Electros. I don't actually know why he switched out of Mew, because he could have just soft-boiled, because he definitely would not have died to 1, I don't think. But either way, I'm stuck into Outrage, and he is an Avalugg, which is really funny. I kind of forgot that Outrage, it's not like a choice move. When you're choice banded into something, like, you still select your move and you have to click it again, and I thought the same was with Outrage. When it wasn't letting me select Outrage, like, for the second time, I thought we were DCing, which I thought was really funny because I about had a heart attack when I thought we were going to DC again. But, nope, just Wi-Fi, you know, you don't click outrage twice, it just does it. But he kills the Flagon, and I'm faster. That means that I get to synthesis up and be at a good amount of health. Here I kind of just be the annoying person. Alright, so I'm just going to tell you this is the end of the game. The end of the game just involves nothing else dying. He has Mew, Avalugg, and Vaporeon alive. I have Mega Venusaur, and Mew Psychic does, you know, about that much damage. I hit my Leech Seed, and with Leech Seed, Sludge Bomb, you know, whatever I can get off on him, if I can get a Toxic, you know, I'm definitely feeling like I can 1v1 this Mew. The timer is running a little low, unfortunately, so, speaking of a little low, I don't know why my DS is not plugged in, but the red light came on, and I swear if this DS dies while I am recording, I will die. So, yeah, so you can see, like, the timer is going down really, really low, but in my mind, this is a playoff game, and if there is any of the slightest chances that I can win, I will take it down to timer if I can, you know, if I can. There's that aspect of it. There's the aspect of, hey, this is a playoff game and I'm not going down until he takes me down. And there's also just, like, a part of me that because this was a playoff game, if this was a regular season game, I would have just, you know, spammed Leech Seed until he killed me or something. But I kind of wanted him to prove to me that he could kill my Mega Venusaur. I wanted him to, like, earn his way to the finals. I wanted Trip to take out my Mega Venusaur, get the clean win, and, you know, take that type of victory to the finals. But he actually switches out as I go for the Giga Drain. It's pretty funny. I'm faster than this Vaporeon. I'm faster than the Avalugg. The Mew is the only thing that's faster than me, and Mew is really the only thing that can even do damage to me. So, yeah, I don't actually remember why he switched out, probably just to get rid of the Leech Seed. But I do want to also point out that this was no timer stall by Trip or anything like that, or by me. Like, moves were being selected very, very fast. I do fully believe that he was trying to take out my Mega Venusaur before time ran out. But at the same time, he didn't want to cost himself the victory by making any, like, mistakes or anything like that. But I wasn't going to let the Mega Venusaur die because, like I said, I want Trip to prove to me that he could actually take this thing out on his way to the championship. And, I mean, you know, if I have a chance to, you know, kill the Vaporeon, kill the Avalugg, if there's any chance at all that I can beat him, that'd be cool. If I got, like, a crit here, that would have been a dead Mew, and I think I could have won this. I forget how much time was left in the match. I think I had enough time to take out the rest of his team if I got a crit there, which is kind of funny. But yeah, he is going to taunt me, and I'm just like, okay, here we go. So now he's trying to 1v1 me and everything like that. But, so he's going to Psychic, and I believe I start Giga Draining, and, no, I just keep going for the Sludge Bomb because I want to get a Poison on him, which I do finally get a Poison. I went for way more than, like, 3 Sludge Bombs, so I don't think it's really hacks because it's like a 30% chance. I went for it for, I don't know, what, 5 to 10 times before I got my first Poison. So, not hacks, so that's cool. And now he is going to kind of concern himself with healing up and not dying to Poison and, like, another Sludge Bomb. That, you know, I can start Giga Draining, getting my health back. And in the end, Trip does not prove to me that he can take out the Mega Venusaur. It kind of reminds me of the battle against Alex, where he couldn't take out my Mega Venusaur, and Trip can't do it either. So, but like I've already said, Trip does win this match. It is a 3-1 victory. He does taunt me, but I just keep going for attacks. And when he gets low on health, like, he has to keep healing up. You know, if he doesn't heal up here, and I go for the Sludge Bomb, like, he loses his Mew and all that good stuff. So, he's doing everything he can, but because he's so concerned with being able to heal up his Mew, and even with the taunt in place, he's still not able to take out my Mega Venusaur. I find that hilarious, but Trip is going to walk away with the 3-1 victory, because I do run out of time. Give us another hour, maybe I could have taken out his team. He did also have Will-O-Wisp on this Mew, so we could have gotten residual damage. If he ever did get that off, maybe he could have taken me out, but at the same time, if one of these turns, I don't know when he would have went for Will-O-Wisp, because I keep taking him down to orange health, and, you know, Sludge Bomb plus Poison from orange health definitely will take him out. Yellow health, whatever. So, I don't know. It's definitely, who knows what could have happened if we got to this point faster, or if there was no Wi-Fi limit, but this is how our season ends. 2 Trip again in round 2 of the playoffs. This is super deja vu, because this is exactly what happened last season in the TBU playoffs, where we lost to Trip and he went to the championship and he ended up winning. So yeah, he could win again. You never know, but that is it's gonna be the game. I believe time runs out this turn. Yeah, that was the last move. So he does actually at this point have a good amount of health. I don't remember if taunt is still in effect at this point or not, so this could have been a turn that he could have Will-O-Wisp, who knows. But time has run out, battle's over, we lost against Trip. So I've already reiterated that a couple times, but he didn't prove he could take out my Mega Venusaur, though he did still get the victory. So congrats to Trip. 3 times that I battled him, 3 times I've lost to him. I just can't figure him out for some reason, but I've gotten so close every single time. But, you know, it is what it is. Congrats to Trip, and, you know, good luck to him in the finals. Make sure you check out his links, so you can go ahead and watch the finals on his channel. Maybe might even be streamed. I know last season's was. I don't know if it would this season. Don't take my word for it. But it could be, because I'm pretty sure he has the ability to stream and all that good stuff. But, yeah, that is going to bring our TBU Season 2 an end. Which is, you know, it's unfortunate. We were 1 game away from the finals, you know, 2 victories away from winning it all, but, you know, it is what it is. TBU is definitely going to be taking a break and all that good stuff. As of right now, as I do plan on being in TBU next season, so, you know, unless anything changes, you know, I hope to be back, but, you know, there's nothing set in stone, of course. So, you know, hopefully we can get another chance at the TBU finals, and, you know, we'll see what happens then. Until then, you know, you can always expect other sort of league content from me, as well as other things that are definitely on their way. So that is going to end this ridiculously long match and long end to the season. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed the Battle Union this season, and have enjoyed this adventure in this league as much as I have, and please continue to support the Battle Union and all of the participants this season and in all future seasons. So, that is about all I have to say. This video has been long enough, so thank you guys for watching, and until the next time, guys, stay sly.